I'm Dr. Stroh, Superintendent of ESD 290 Ottawa. I wanted to take a few minutes and talk to you a little bit about school funding and the formula funding that has been part of our culture for the last 20 years, and the new block grant funding to possibly build a common understanding of what the difference is between the two of those. In Kansas, we have two ways of funding schools. We have state aid, which comes from the state of Kansas, and we have the local effort, which is our local taxes here in Ottawa. In the old days, the formula funding, we got state aid, and state aid went into the different funds, which included general fund, the LOB fund, or our supplemental general fund, capital outlay fund, special education fund, and our CAPERS fund, which is retirement. We also get state aid for our bond and interest. We have the same funds here in our block grant fund, but it's funded very differently. So you'll see the general fund, the LOB or supplemental general fund, capital outlay, special education, CAPERS, our retirement fund, and our bond and interest fund. So the difference is, in formula funding, we received state aid, and state aid went into general fund, and state aid came to us and went into the LOB fund. State aid came to us and went into capital outlay. State aid came to us and went directly into our special education fund. State aid came to us and went into our CAPERS fund and stayed there for about 15 minutes and then went right back to the state. So although that money is recorded in our journals and as part of our budget, that money stays with us for 15 minutes and goes straight back to Topeka. We also got money that came to us into our bond and interest fund. So you can see that when we recorded our budget, that's how it all laid out. This past year, when we went to block grant funding, the state aid came to us a very different way. So, state aid for all of our funds goes right into our general fund. So rather than having the money split up and go into our LOB, our capital outlay, our special education, and CAPERS, and our bond and interest, all of the state aid is deposited into our general fund, making our general fund look huge, when in reality it's actually less money for student services than it has been in the past. When we get this money in our general fund, then we transfer it into our LOB and into capital outlay and into special education and into CAPERS, which goes right back, and into our bond and interest fund. So in reality, we have the same line items that we have to fund, but our general fund looks huge. And that's an important distinction to make. The second part of this is our local taxes. Our local taxes used to go to general fund, to LOB, to capital outlay, and to bond and interest. Okay? Now our local taxes go to the LOB, capital outlay, and bond and interest. We no longer have our local effort go directly into our general fund. That money that we used to have goes to the state and then is divided among the districts. So that's a little bit about the difference between formula funding and block grant funding.